Hong Kong is rising up.
If you have no freedom, there is no life, no truth, no future.
But how did we get here? Peaceful protests have turned violent.
The renowned tear gas phase of this demonstration was the demonstrators just pick up the tear gas pellets and throw them back at the police.
And as Communist China celebrates its 70th birthday, Hong Kong burns. Students are on the front line.
We need to stand up for ourselves and show that we don't show fear.
The government is cracking down. Demonstrators risk their lives. This is the fight for Hong Kong. This is a school strike. Many of these students are plain truant. They're protesting against their democratic rights being eroded by mainland China.
We need to stand up for ourselves and show that we don't show fear to these governments and to these police officers, and to help others to gain courage to come back out again and protest for Hong Kong.
They wear these masks to protect their identities, but the government invoked emergency laws from the British colonial era to ban all masks in early October, hoping that this would frighten people into staying at home. Instead, it's just fueled their anger. I lived in Hong Kong in 1997, at the time of the handover from British colonial to Chinese rule. Now, we thought at the time that there might be some resistance to the new masters in Beijing. What we didn't realize is that it would take this long for the people of the city to find their strident voice, even if that means sacrificing the thing that they supposedly cherish most, their money. Hong Kong is Asia's financial capital, the doorway to the world's financial markets for China. It makes money for Beijing. It is the goose that lays the golden eggs. No one wants to see it slaughtered, but to what extent should it be allowed to fly freely? That is China's conundrum. These protests started in June when Hong Kong's leader introduced a bill to make it possible for fugitives to be taken to mainland China for trial. Protesters stormed the parliament, worried that Beijing would misuse the extradition bill to undermine their civil liberties. The bill was withdrawn in September, but by then the protests had snowballed into a wider anti-China movement. They have 5 demands, and they vow to continue marching until all 5 are met. What mobilizes them is the fear of what China's one-party rule will do to their freedoms, their way of life, and their future. This island off the coast of mainland China has been pulled between East and West for nearly 200 years. China surrendered control of Hong Kong to Britain in 1842. The territory remained a British colony for 150 years, until July 1997, when the UK handed it back to mainland China. Beijing promised the Basic Law, a one-country, two-systems agreement guaranteeing Hong Kong legal independence from mainland China. In 2014, the Umbrella Revolution began as people protested for a truly democratically elected leader. On the mainland, China celebrates its 70th birthday. The military parade is a daunting showpiece. Message to global audience: this new superpower isn't going to be messed with. But on the streets of Hong Kong, an unsanctioned protest is getting underway. So you brought your daughter and your mother, so you've got 3 generations here.
Yeah, totally. That because my mother also supported. Right now, there are many old people just coming to support us also.
If you have no freedom, there is no life, no the truth, everything is nothing, no future.
It's easy for Beijing to blame any violence on the hooligans and the so-called terrorists, but this is more difficult to explain. Tens of thousands of ordinary Hong Kong citizens, unafraid, marching for democracy on the streets of this city. They had hoped that these sort of scenes would disappear over time. They haven't. It only takes minutes for this protest to kick off. The police threaten to return force with force, and they do, arresting at least 200 people that day. The protesters are on a bridge just a brick's throw away from the Chinese army headquarters. The local police want to show that they can keep control.
The renowned tear gas phase of this demonstration, they're so practiced at these pitched battles with the police. the demonstrators just pick up the tear gas pellets and throw them back at the police force.
They bring in bricks dug up from the road to use as missiles, building barricades from whatever they can find. The protests aren't for everyone. In these condo canyons, people watch, worry and wait, and some practice a softer method of resistance.
Welcome, come on in.
I've come to meet Fermi. She's a social worker.
I'm not as brave, as selfless as my frontline young protesters fellows. And I keep thinking that what can I do?
She's too afraid to go to the demos, but she's raised over £50,000 to help the protesters.
So many youngsters, they prepare their last will.
Their last will, their testament, yeah.
Yeah, with, in their backpack.
Yeah.
I admire them. I'm inspired by them. In such young age, they are prepared to sacrifice their life.
What Fermi and others fear most here is that Hong Kong could be heading towards a second Tiananmen Square moment. In 1989, students flooded Beijing's main square to peacefully call for political and democratic reform. Chinese troops were sent in, firing at the demonstrators. Some estimates say that thousands were killed. And now rumours are spreading that violence against demonstrators is being fueled by the Chinese mafia, also known as triads. In late July, dozens of masked men stormed a Hong Kong train station, brutally attacking people who'd attended a pro-democracy protest.
即係黑社會都會主動去佢哋會有佢哋嘅人物咧去聯絡返警方啊，佢哋會有做啲咁嘅嘢。
This is Tony. He tells us that he's a former member of the triads. We've hidden his identity. He agrees with the speculation here that the triads are colluding with the police and the government to oppress demonstrators. But the Hong Kong authorities strongly deny any of this.
我就覺得其實嚟緊佢哋出現嘅會比較多嘅，係啦，因為正最近香港政治嘅問題啦，咁令到即係一啲好香港好底層好黑暗嘅事都被勾咗出嚟，去俾人見到嘅時候咧，其實。
This is a vigil for the casualties of Hong Kong's demonstrations. The government claimed that 1,235 people have been injured, but protesters and medics say that the real number is far greater. Protesting on this island, once famous for cool-headed pragmatism and the cult of capital, seems to be getting increasingly dangerous. But for many young Hong Kongers, the threat to their freedom is worth the risk.